All right, everybody, it's Andreas Hale, Senior Combat Sports Writer of the Sporting News, and I'm here with Shadasia Green, who on December 15th faces Franchón Crews-Dezurn for the WBC Super Middleweight Championship. Shadasia, how does that sound? Gets to fight for that WBC Super Middleweight green belt that everybody desires. And I know you've been after this for a minute. How's that feel right now, get this close to the fight?
It seems so surreal. It's like a dream come true that it's finally there, signed on paper, venue, matched up. It's an amazing feeling. This is the second time coming around with Franchón Crews-Dezurn and myself. So, fireworks going on inside of me, and I'm excited.
You talked about dreams, and I want to go back to your time at Old Dominion. You always wanted to box, and you played ball, and you made that promise to your moms. I'm curious, how do you go through college knowing like my dream's on the other side of this, but I still got to stay playing ball? Something I don't really want to do, but I keep this promise to my mom, and I know what's on the other end of it. How do you stay motivated to still play ball at that time?
Well, with ball, it was like a love-hate thing, back in my day, one-on-one and AAU ball and high school ball and seeing the other, going to the TOCs, the county championships, where it was just my team versus the other team. And I loved it at some point. And when it carried over in college, it became a little bit more serious, more politics involved. So I still loved it when I made that deal with my mom. But, sophomore, junior year, I started realizing that I love something else way more than I love this. So I stuck to the course, stuck to the road at hand, and I still promised myself that I would give it 150%. So it worked out, I got a Sweet 16 championship out of it. I traveled the world, been on many vacations to other parts of the country I never been at the time, made some friends, and and I enjoyed, receiving a college education away from home that matured me and prepared me for the walks of life today.
While you're playing ball, you're getting a chance to watch all these women fighting, like women's boxing is bubbling. Were you sitting there going, damn, I can't wait. Like seeing somebody like Claressa Shields and seeing Franchón, who debuted against Claressa Shields, Savannah Marshall, and everybody else coming up. Did you know that your time was going to come and maybe everything works out in the right way? Because what I'm going to get to in a minute is you end up with Jake Paul, which is the best possible exposure you can get. But at that time, were you like, damn, I hope this all works out for me?
Absolutely. I think you said it best than I've ever heard. You probably said it without me. I mean, I don't have to answer the question. You just play yourself back to what you just said. There were times where I would watch some females fighting on TV, any names, and I'd be so sad. I'd be crying. Like, when is it going? Like, I had tore my Achilles, and I'm standing in front of the TV on crutches watching the Olympics, and I'm crying. Like, when is it going to be my turn? And in that same moment, I stopped. I started praying more, and my sister, my baby sister, who has been in support of me with my boxing career since I came home from college, she was like, you got to be obedient to the Lord. You got to be obedient to God, because when it's your time, nothing and no one will be able to stop it. Everybody gets their moment to shine, and mine has been delayed. And now, when everything comes full surface, the biggest fighter, the biggest promoter in the sport, I'm on his team now. One of the best managers in the game, Nikisa, I'm a part of his stable now. And I'm going to fight for a title. My first big title is not the WBO, the WBA, or the IBF. It's the WBC that everybody wants that. I get to fight for that first. So I honestly feel like with all the weight, the pain, the tears, led me here. With there's power in prayer. I stayed obedient, and now it's my time to shine.
Let me ask you this, because you hear people. Some people say Jake Paul is bad for boxing. Some people say Jake Paul is out for himself. But the reality is that without Jake Paul, Amanda Serrano wouldn't have taken off the way that she has, because Amanda's been a great fighter forever.
Yes, she has.
And Jake put that spotlight on her. For you, what do you say to those people that say, oh, he's not good for boxing? It's a money grab. But you see what he's about to do for your career that he did for Amanda's.
I see what he has done for my career thus far, behind the scenes, a money grab. Jake, MVP, and Nikisa hasn't taken anything from me. They've simply gave opportunities to make more than I ever have, to build my platform and myself, put me on huge platforms. I mean, I played in front of a lot of people during college basketball, but I've never been in front of a crowd the way I was my last fight with Jake being the main event. So, I mean, they wouldn't understand it. They can't understand it. They're looking from the outside in. But when you're a part of this situation and you see how this has increased my life and my financial situation and where I was compared to where I am now, I never have anything bad to say about Jake Paul or MVP or Nikisa. Just doesn't make any sense. It's not for them to understand, you know. We need in a society in the world today, we need people to criticize, to judge. We need hate. We need that for the world to function properly, because then it creates a chemical, a balance. You know, we need to be balanced out. We need some people who are going to be for us and many people who are going to be against us. Because if everybody for us, then what are we doing? You know, you're not really doing nothing if everybody just like, oh. And then if nobody is hating and nobody is making these comments and statements about you, it's like nobody knows you. The devil don't pick on the weak, especially if you're already weak. They don't pick on the weak.
Facts.
Weak, he got the weak already. They done gave up already.
So let me ask you this. Speaking of critics, Claressa Shields said your last performance was quote unquote low tier. Mm-hmm. What do you think she meant by that? And how did you look at your last performance?
I didn't feel like it was one of my best performances. I was battling with things myself as far as like, you know, what type of performance did I want to showcase? Did I want to showcase my boxing ability that I can walk somebody down or fight on the inside? Or did I just want to put my power on display? Because everybody has just been talking about my power. And I caught myself trying to prove a point that I can do more than what you see on my record is my power. So it was conflicted, you know. When I was talking about my performance, I was saying I was going to show you guys another side of me. When I fought Elaine Cederos, I dropped her going backwards. I was boxing her off the back foot. When I fought my last fight, I was on the front foot coming forward, maybe getting touched at the end of the combinations. I really didn't like my performance, but you could tell that I was battling with myself of what it was that I wanted to showcase. December 15th, I'm going to put on a performance of everything, whatever it takes to be victorious. I'm comfortable in the type of fighter that I am. I'm still learning, and I'm trusting the process. I'm enjoying the process. It's been a painful one, but you know, as fighters, we got it hard. This is a really, really tough sport to be a part of, because the critics and so many people, you know, who never boxed a day in their life could look at a performance and say, hey, you know, and then you got Claressa Shields. Hey, this was such a low tier performance. Look at the performance with Shakur Stevenson and Edwin Valero. You know, Edwin, he won the fight with a jab. It probably wasn't thrilling to everybody else. Claressa tweeted that, you know, hey, one performance and everybody will judge you as a fighter. But you got to understand, she said that's her little brother. Right. But when she makes comments about me, it's low tier, right? Because I'm now an enemy. So I take the good with the good, the bad with the bad. It's all a part of the sport.
Do you think that that's the interesting thing, though, is because she's fought pretty much everybody, but the one name that's out there is you. So she has to pay attention. And she has to say what she has to say. Do you think she meant that it was a low tier opponent, or do you think she was trying to get your attention?
No, she probably meant it.
Yeah.
Yeah, she probably meant it. When I fought Aline, she had something different to say. She wanted to congratulate me on it. But again, when you got a lot of fans that's like, hey, Claressa, you don't want to fight Shadasia Green. You can't, you know, she's a part of this sport. Like she thrives on, look, I'm the best. I'm the quote. I'm this, I'm that. Nobody said, anybody that they say could be a possible threat to her, of course, she's going to, like, look, what? Not on my level. And I understand it. It doesn't bother me at all. What she thinks doesn't move me, not one bit.
Got you. Franchón Crews-Dezurn, you guys had some words recently. What do you think of her as a fighter? Not the personality, because she's got a personality that rubs people the wrong way sometimes. Some people enjoy her personality, but as a fighter, what do you think about her?
I think she's good at what she do.
What is that she does?
Franchón is not the most technical fighter. You got to be in shape to fight Franchón. Franchón is very scrappy, rugged, and she wants to make the fight tough for you. And in many cases, she's been victorious doing that. She was undisputed. So you got to respect what she does, respect her fight game. That's it.
Her style with yours, you said fireworks. Do you think there's any chance that there's a dull moment in this fight, or the fans got really, truly something to look forward to on December 15th in terms of action?
When you say dull, look, the fans should look forward to this fight. It's a grudge match, right? But how many times people, matched up Floyd Mayweather with a fighter and they like, he's gonna do this, he's gonna pressure him, hit him behind the head, throw overhands. And Floyd just took the life out of the fight, like picking him apart, clean cut, just domination.
Domination. I think that's the crazy thing about boxing. Like, people say dull, but people like myself who appreciate boxing can't call a moment dull if a man is dominant on the other side and applying his art, right? Because we all consider it an art. I think in your case, you talk about your last performance being conflicted. We could see that. I think a lot of us that saw that was like, oh, Shadasia's trying to show us something a little bit different. This fight, it doesn't feel like you don't care to show us anything. You're here to get the job done on December 15th. Am I wrong about that?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I'm going to be my best self. I'm going to be my best self. I'm telling you, like, I can wait. I'm making every day count. But December 15th, just tune in.
Couple more for you. One, women's pound for pound list. You beat Franchón Crews-Dezurn. Obviously, you are in the upper crust of that pound for pound list. Do those things matter to you? Do you care about those listed out there and what the media has to say about Shadasia Green?
No. I care about being a world champion. I care about being the undisputed super middleweight world champion. I care about being the best at my weight class and one of the best female fighters in the world. One of the faces of women's boxing. Let me take that back as far as like, no, it's not priority. It's not number one on my list, but it's a part of the plan. I do want to be pound for pound on the list. I do want to be mentioned with the greats, Amanda Serrano, it's a dream of mine, but what I prioritize is December 15th, becoming the WBC super middleweight world champion.
And if you have your choice, depending on how things shake out, is the next fight after this Savannah Marshall or is it Claressa Shields? What do you think is next in line for you?
Of course, I never make any decisions without my team.
Of course.
I have a great team, Nikisa, Jake, MVP. Phenomenal team. Finally, I feel like a true professional, business-minded fighter. If we're talking about my dreams, we're talking about Savannah Marshall because she has some belts that they fit my puzzle. But then again, if we're talking about legacy, we're talking about both of them, Savannah Marshall and Claressa Shields. So we just got to see how it play out. We sit down with Nikisa and talk about and see what's on the table for me, and you never know.
All right. Well, Shadasia, look forward to this fight on December 15th. I'm sure you are, because when you're hungry and they put the meal in front of you and tell you, you got like 5 more minutes before you can eat. Yeah. It looks like a delicious dish, but you can't wait to tear into it. So
I can't wait.
All right, Shadasia, appreciate your time. Good luck, and I hope to talk to you after that. All right,
yes,
take
sir.
it easy.
Thank you so much.